Hello, Daryl. Hey, we got exercise with exos. So today we're going to be doing a circuit, 6 movements, 3 rounds, 45, almost said 45 minutes of work. Can you imagine 45 minutes straight? 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest / transition time. We're going to do mainly lower body stuff today. And I'm going to go ahead and get into the demos real quick, and then we'll get into our warm up. We don't need any equipment or anything today, just enough room to jump side to side. All right, so today we're going to start off with plank rotations first. So it's can either be hands and knees or hands and toes, but either way, we're here. If we're on our hands and toes, we're just opening up towards the ceiling and then to the other side. So it's going to work on our core strength and our single arm stability here. So that's going to be our first movement. And then our next two, so we're going to do reverse lunges. We're going to do all on one leg and then all on the other leg. So the first one here, not the first one, for both of them, we're going to pause at the bottom for 3 seconds. So we're going to step back and we're going to come down. 1, 2, 3, push the ground away, stand back up. And again, coming back down nice and slow, pausing for 3 seconds and back up. So like I said, we're going to do all on one leg and then we'll do all on the other leg. Again, going nice and slow, pausing and holding. So we're working on our isometric work here today for that one. And then after that, we're going to do a squat knee to elbow here. So we're going to have our hands at our temples, feet hip width apart, squatting down as we stand up, bringing our knee towards our elbow, working more on standing core work here, as well as our power and strength in our legs. So that's going to be our fourth movement. And then our 2 cardio movements today. First one, we're going to do a 2-inch run in place. So we're going to be on our toes, moving fast feet, slow hands, getting that running in. So that's going to be our first cardio movement. And then after that, we're going to do either lateral marches or skips. So you might want to skip if you are to march a little bit before we start skipping, because I know I tend to get confused a little bit. But if we're just marching, so you can practice coming up and over, we're stepping, pushing off one leg. So you can do however many in each direction, and then the other side. And then when you practice that, if you start skipping like this, back and forth. So this is going to help us get our lateral movement and strength in. So that's going to be our circuit for today. Like I said, lots of lower body today. But we're going to start off with the world's greatest stretch for our warm up. So we're going to go ahead and come to the top of our space. We're going to interlace our fingers, wrap onto one knee, pulling our knee towards our chest. And we're going to exhale, step back, reverse lunge. Hands are coming down on the inside of our front foot. Back leg stays nice and straight here. Nice big deep breath. And exhale, opening up towards the ceiling. Thumb is facing our spine. We're looking at our palm. And we're going to exhale, put our hand outside of our front foot, bring our back foot a little bit closer and push our hips up into our hamstring stretch. And we're going to go ahead and exhale, bring our feet together, push the ground away and stand on up. All right, we're going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So interlace our fingers, front bar onto the opposite knee, pull in towards our chest. And we're going to exhale, step back, reverse lunge. Hands are coming down on the inside of our front foot. Back leg stays nice and straight. And we're going to go ahead and exhale, opening up towards our front leg, gazing past our hand. Thumb is facing behind us, looking at our palm. And we're going to go ahead and exhale, put our hand outside of our front foot. Bring our back foot a little bit closer and push our hips up into our hamstring stretch. And we're going to go ahead and exhale. Bring our feet together, push the ground away, and stand on up. All right, next thing we're going to do, we're going to do a couple of quadruped rocks here. So we're going to make our way onto the ground on our hands and our knees. And we're going to bring our feet a little bit wide, our knees a little bit wider than hip width. Toes are directly behind our knees. Our core is engaged, so we're bringing our belly button into our spine, bringing our six-pack together. We're going to inhale, rock back. Exhale, come back forward. So keeping our core engaged so our back is nice and flat the whole time. This is really going to help us get ready to squat, and also for lunges and everything. We're getting our hips and our core nice and warm here for all of our lower body. We're going to go ahead and do one more here. And after our last one, we are ready to rock and roll. So we're starting off with our plank rotations, 45-15. So we're staying on the ground. I'm going to get the timer ready here. 3, 2, 1, and go. So we have plank rotations. So again, either hands and knees or hands and toes, whatever feels good for you today. But we're lock and load our shoulders under our, or sorry, hands under our shoulders, screwing our hands into the ground. So our upper body is nice and tight. Opening up one side at a time. It should look the same from your knees as well if that's what you were doing. We're opening up, staying nice and straight. Again, through our head to our hips. Our shoulders and our heels are all in line. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, we have reverse lunges. We're moving nice and slow, making sure we're pausing for 3 seconds at the bottom. Getting ready. 3, 2, 1. So we're stepping back. Knees over our second toe. Chest is over the arch for our front foot. Driving through. We're doing all on one leg. So stepping back. 1, 2, 3. Push the ground away. So we really want to feel that in our glutes and in our quads, but mainly our glutes, keeping our chest forward, holding, coming back up. So like I said, this one's really going to help us work our isometrically, work our legs. We need kind of a mix and a blend of all three. So eccentric, concentric, and isometric. 3, 2, 1. All three parts of those help us work just all muscles. And like I've said before, it helps us create more tension and change the movement a little bit. 3, 2, 1, without having to add weight. So this is kind of a way to progress, to get stronger, make a little bit more progress by mixing up our tempos. So this is why I included this one today. So coming down, holding for 3 seconds. Exhaling as we drive through our front heel. Great job. You can always do what I do as well on one side. I know my right side doesn't fire like my left side does. So I like to take it a little bit slower. Coming back up. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, we have squat, knee to elbow. So we're keeping our hands at our temples as we stand up, bringing our knee to our elbow. 3, 2, 1. Feet hip width, toes forward, and we're down. It helps if we exhale as we drive our knee up, because that's going to help us bring our core together and help us pull our knee up using our core muscles. Great job. Really driving the knee. We want to try to not really, I don't want us to really crunch down that much. We want to stay nice and tall, crunch a little bit if we need to, similar to a march. Working on our knee drive. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, we have 2-inch run in place. So we're doing quick feet, slow hands. 3, 2, 1. So slight bend in the hips and in the knees. I know it's a little bit hard to see my hips with the darkness over there, but our hips are slightly back, just like our base position. We're like ducks on water. slow feet, sorry, quick feet, slow hands. Still staying nice and tall. Our core is engaged, so we're zipping our six-pack up here. That's gonna help us keep our back flat. Bending those knees here, we got it. Try and pick up the pace a little bit. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, we're gonna do lateral skips or marches, whatever feels good. If we want to skip, I definitely recommend marching back and forth 1 or 2 times. 3, 2, 1. So you can do however much room you have. You can either do 2 or 3 steps. So we're stepping out and over and then back the way we came. So that's the march. We're going to try skipping. It's the same thing. We're going to double tap. So we double tap as we move over. A little bit kind of reminds me of like the karaoke that, you know, we used to do as a warm up. I know we used to do it when I was a kid. So it's kind of like that. Still working on driving our knee up. We're driving our knee, we're pushing off of the inside of the opposite leg. That's going to help us with our, you know, our movement side to side in general. So it's good. You're like a runner. 3, 2, 1. All right. 1 down, 2 to go. Starting with our plank rotations. 3, 2, 1. I also apologize. I feel like I'm breathing very heavy the last 2 days. Starting to get a little bit of congestion, so just bear with me. Try not to breathe super heavy into my AirPods, but we're trying. We're rotating, keeping our core tight. We're doing lots of different core work today, but this one we're gonna feel not only in your shoulders, but we'll feel a little bit in your back as well as we rotate and open up. Reaching towards the ceiling. 3, 2, 1. All right. Great job. Next up, we have reverse lunges. We're pausing for 3 seconds. Do it all on one leg and then all on the other leg. 3, 2, 1. So we're stepping back. Knee right over our second toe. Chest is staying forward. We're coming down. 1, 2, 3. Like I said, this is a way to create a different type of tension in our legs to help with strength, making progress. But as always, if you have dumbbells, you have weights that you want to use with this, feel free. You can hold some dumbbells at your sides, doing whatever feels good for you. You can always load a backpack up with a bunch of books or anything and hold that on your back as well. 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Pausing for 3 seconds. Y'all are doing great today. 3, 2, 1. Other leg, same thing. And like I was saying last time too, I like to take my back foot off as I stand up with my front foot, really making sure that I'm taking my stronger leg out of the equation, really standing up with just using my right leg, because that one is not, I don't want to say it's not as strong, it just isn't always as awake. So you might notice that for yourself as well. So definitely recognizing that not both sides are always going to be the same. So you can focus a little bit on one side, or sometimes you have to focus a little bit more. 3, 2, 1. Focusing on one side more than the other. All right, squat knee to elbow is next. We're getting ready. 3, 2, 1. So hands at our temples, squatting down, driving through our heel, big toe, little toe. Exhaling as we come up, making sure we are Squatting as low as we can while keeping our forward. So if you're starting to feel it in your back or your pelvis is tucking under at a certain point, shorten your range of motion a little bit. You also, if you're having any sort of discomfort or pain in your hips going all the way down, again, shorten that range of motion and it should feel a little bit better. Squats aren't meant to be super painful, but they're also 3, 2, 1. We also want to feel something in our legs, right? So doing those things if that's feeling a little bit not so great for you today. And then next up, we have 2-inch runs in place. 3, 2, 1. So slight bend in the knees, in the hips. Quick feet, slow hands. Really bending our knees a little bit more. Let me go over here a little bit. So we don't want to be up. The closer we are to the ground, we're going to be a little bit faster. We're also going to activate our legs a little bit more, but we're barely getting our toes off the ground. I know I tend to move around a lot with this one, but try and pick up the pace a little bit. We got less than 10 seconds, so I want us to really pick it up, really run as fast as you can in place. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Great job, y'all. All right. Next up, we're going to skip/march laterally, so whatever feels good for you. But you can always march for a few to get the timing down. 3, 2, 1. So again, we're leading with our knee. We're pushing off the other side of our foot. So when I come this way, knee is up and over. So it's like we're stepping over something and then going back. So when we start skipping, it's the same thing. We're just gonna start double tapping. We're double tapping with both our feet and moving over. So we're pushing off the inside part of our foot in the direction that we're going. So if I'm going to the left, pushing off the inside of my right foot. Great job. I know this one is partially more mental than anything. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. All right. 2 rounds down, coming up on our last one, starting with plank rotations from the ground. 3, 2, 1. So again, on our hands and knees or our hands and toes. Run our hands into the ground. Rotating. Yep. This one, definitely got to keep our core engaged the whole time. Definitely starting to feel it. Great job. Really opening up. We're almost there. This is our last one. So we're definitely doing light upper body today as well. So we're going to do a little bit more upper body tomorrow in class. 3, 2, 1. I know yesterday we did the normal amount of upper body, but tomorrow we made sure we're going to do a little extra because we didn't do as much today. So we can look forward to that. We got reverse lunges. 3, 2, 1. So we're stepping back. 1, 2, 3. Push the ground away and come back up. Oh, I almost started alternating. We're doing the same side. Out of breath right now. 1 down. Also making sure that we are stepping directly behind our leg. So we're like, it's like we are on train tracks, not a tightrope. We're pausing, keeping our weight on our front foot. 3, 2, 1. All right. Done with that leg. We're gonna do the other leg, and then we're on to squats. And then we're done with there. That's it. 3, 2, 1. So we're doing this leg. Then we have squats, 2-inch runs in places, and our lateral skips or marches, whatever feels better. And then we're done. Great job. Really driving through our front heel, feeling this one in our glutes. Breathing through the movement here. Keeping our core engaged. We're doing awesome. We're almost there. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Done with those. We got squat, knee to elbow, and then cardio. And then we're going to be on the ground for our cool down today. 3, 2, 1. Hands at our temples here. I know I always said toes pointed forward. But if you have tight hips like I do, sometimes it'd be helpful to point your toes slightly out. We don't want to be all the way out, right? We don't want to be like that. But if you need to, just like ever so slightly, sometimes that can help us get the depth and get into the position that we need to get into to perform the squat correctly. I know I tend to do that, or lifting your heels, like if you have plates that you can stand on, like 2.5 pound plates or something, or if you get like squat shoes and stuff, that can also help with hip tightness and squatting. 3, 2, 1. All right, done with those. We got 2-inch runs in place, and then our lateral skips and marches, and then we're gonna be on the ground. 3, 2, 1. All right, pick up the pace here. We're really pushing ourselves. Third round can be the most challenging. We got this. Last round, best round. Really getting our feet nice and quick. Really bending down towards, not bending down, using our knees. So the closer that we are to the ground, the faster we can go versus being here. It's really hard to go fast. But if we are in a nice base position, we can move our feet a little bit quicker. We're almost there. Finish strong with this one. 3, 2, 1. All right. Last movement of the day, the lateral skips / marches. 3, 2, 1. I know I do also like to march a little bit at first, get my timing, my movement down, and then, like I said, it's a lot of mental coordination. I know I probably don't look that coordinated, but it's okay. We're working on our lateral movement here, pushing off of our inside part of our foot. Great job. We're almost there. 3, 2, 1. That is it for today's circuit. So go ahead, grab a sip of water if you need it. And we are going to be on the ground for our cool down. We're going to do some bretzel. We can go ahead, make our way onto the ground, onto our side, whichever side you'd like to start with. We are going to take our top leg. We're coming up, over, and across our body. Knee and ankle stay on the ground. Bottom hand on top of our knee. Top hand grabs onto our bottom foot or ankle. We're going to inhale to prepare. And exhale, opening up towards the ceiling. We're going to start to feel this one. Opening up our quad of the bottom leg. We're opening up our back, our low back, and our glutes and all of that in our top leg. Slowing our breath down. Feeling our body sink into the ground. Let's go ahead and do one more breath here. And as we finish our exhale, we can gently release our bottom leg. And when we're ready, we can go ahead and roll over onto our other side where we have our same checklist. So same thing, top leg is coming up over and across our body, knee and ankle stay on the ground, bottom hand goes on top of our knee, our top hand grabs onto our bottom foot or ankle. We're gonna inhale to prepare, and exhaling, bringing our top shoulder towards the ground. Nice big inhales through our nose into our belly. Exhaling through our mouth, sighing away our tension. Like focusing on calming our breath down, calming our body down. We're gonna go ahead and do one more breath here. And as we finish our exhale, we can go ahead and gently release out of that. And feel free to stay laying on the ground, or you can return to a seated, kneeling, or standing position. That is going to be all the time for today's class. So great job today. I know a lot of lower body, but it's always good. Hope y'all got a great workout, and I hope y'all have a great day, and I'll see you again in class tomorrow.